Hey everybody, welcome to the Wildrose Way podcast. I'm your host, Tom Smith from Wildrose in Mississippi, and we talk about everything gun dog and who knows what kind of topics we're going to get into with our guests. So welcome to the show, Dwayne Bratcher, my good friend, photographer, IT consultant, husband, father, all the above.
Yeah,
welcome, Dwayne.
A little bit of everything. Thanks for having me on.
So let's get into your early life. What got you into hunting?
Grew up here in Mississippi, in Batesville, not too far from here. My dad, grandfather, whole family pretty much deer hunters. I think I killed my first deer at probably 8, 9.
Oh,
And, shotgun, running dogs, because that's what we used to do. That's what my grandfather was big into. And so that kind of sparked it out the get-go. I mean, we were deer hunters through and through. And we ran dogs for a whole big chunk of my life till my grandfather just gave that hobby up and then went to steel hunting from there. And then I did that for the majority of my life, and then kind of transitioned into waterfowl once the deer hunting got a little subpar. And so started chasing ducks for a while, and then it flip-flopped. Now it's hard to kill a duck in Mississippi. So now I'm back to deer hunting and not duck hunting that much anymore.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't duck hunted in Mississippi until this year. It had been 4 or 5 years because we just haven't had any birds.
When I went with you this year, that was the first time I think I've been in 3 years in Mississippi.
But it was a banger of a day.
Yeah, no, it was a good day.
It was a good day.
Real good
4-man limit plus some specs. Can't complain about that.
No.
So I was the opposite. I grew up squirrel and rabbit hunting.
Right.
And about high school and junior high, I met who's one of my best friends forever. We've been, best friends. He was best man in my wedding. I was best man in his wedding, all that stuff. And he liked to deer hunt a lot. Mm-hmm. So once I started running with him, about freshman year of high school, that's when I got into the deer hunting. And we didn't have a lot of ducks back then in southern Indiana.
Yeah.
And, so I didn't start duck hunting until I was 26.
Wow.
Yeah.
I think I went on my first hunt at, I was probably maybe 19, probably first time I ever went duck hunting. And I got taken by a guy I work with first time I ever hunted. And, everybody says if you ever go on a good hunt, you get hooked. And we went on a first duck hunt I've ever been on in like a 20-man pit. There's 8 or 10 of us hunting. We killed like 48 ducks, 2 black ducks and a canvasback all in the same morning.
In Mississippi?
Yeah, in Mississippi.
2 black ducks?
Yeah, and a canvasback. And I was like, yep, I'm hooked. I think this is what I want to do now.
Yeah, me and my buddy back in Kentucky, we just call it the sickness.
Yeah, it's definitely that for sure.
All you do is buying decoys and every new gear that comes out. Oh, I got to have that because, it's the next great biggest thing.
Yeah, duck meat per pound is quite pricey.
Oh, yeah. Well, any of it is.
Yeah, that's true.
Especially if you have to lease property or travel.
At least if you kill a deer, you can get 100 pounds off a mature buck.
Yeah.
You can kill 100 ducks and might not get 100 pounds off of them,
Especially if you're killing teal and wood ducks.
And no doubt, yeah.
So, but, so as you progressed hunting, what hit you with the photography bug?
Well, I used the excuse when me and my wife had our first kid, which he's 8 now. I used the excuse of I wanted to get a camera because we were having a kid and it'd be nice to have a family camera. So I bought a little Canon Rebel SL1, a little cheap $300 camera, kit lens, and I took some pictures of him when he was a baby, did all that, and then naturally I hunted a lot, so I just started taking the camera with me, and just started. I would set it up on a tripod and just press the record button and just let it record the sky while I was hunting, and then I did that for a while, and then I started just keeping it in my hand, keeping it there by me, and started taking some pictures. I'd take pictures of people and waterfowl, and I really got into actually taking pictures of wildlife, trying to take pictures of deer and waterfowl and that, just having the camera with me taking pictures. And then it kind of transitioned into taking pictures of the people I was hunting with and this and that and dogs and that kind of stuff. And then it just kind of grew from there. And it got to the point to where I tell people all the time, I get almost as excited when I nail a really good photo as if I'm out there like shooting big old greenheads in the sunlight.
Oh,
it's almost the same for me.
I get it. because I'm to the point, I've killed a lot of ducks. I'm not near as mad at them as I used to be. And if I'm with good shooters, I'm happy to not even take a gun and
just be there
run
and watch.
the dog. Just like when we went to the Delta after my shoulder surgery, I couldn't shoot anyway. So I just ran the dog, and that just watching a dog perform after you spent that much time in training and the obedience and just everything, you're like, oh, this is freaking awesome, you know?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. I don't know. It's, that's why I early on, I learned pretty quickly, especially if I'm getting hired out to go do a gig. I've had a couple gigs. You've been with me on a couple where part of my payment was to hunt in these awesome places. And I learned very quickly that I can't do that because I have a hard time deciding, do I want to pick up the shotgun or do I want to pick up the camera? Because I enjoy both of them just as much. So after I did that, I think twice, I decided I can't do that. Either A, I'm going to come and be your camera guy, or B, you can invite me to come hunt with you, but I can't do both.
Yeah. Yeah. Because what invariably happens is something happens that's amazing, and you don't get the shot
every single time. Yeah,
every time.
Yeah, every single time. I was in Canada, and you know, the one time we'd killed some ducks here and there, and I'd had my camera the whole time, and I was like, okay, the next volley of ducks is going to come in. I'm gonna use the shotgun, pick the shotgun up, and shoot a couple ducks, and there was like 75 mallards dropped in. And I'm like, well, decisions made now, you know, and you know how it is. You've been up there, right? You've hunted in Canada, and they come out of nowhere, and they just drop out of it. All of a sudden, they're in your feet, and so there was no time to change from shotgun to camera. It was just, well, you know, I made my bed. I'm going to lay in it now. But so I learned early on that I can't do both. You know, now I'll go hunt with people, and if I'm just invited to hunt, I'll bring my camera and I'll shoot and do both. If I'm with a client, I just tell them, look, if you want to hunt to be kind of part of my payment to come photograph or film your hunt, just add an extra day in there for me to be there and say, hey, you know, this is your day to hunt. And that's the best way I figured out to do it. It's too hard to do both at the same time.
You know, because you get in the moment.
Right.
Them ducks start coming into the decoys. It's just like, just hand me my gun.
Right. Yeah. Look, I've got a good client. He's up in Arkansas. I go up, I think this year was year 4 now. His name's Jeff Joyner. He owns a little landscaping place in South Carolina, and this was 4 years in a row I've been up opening weekend in Arkansas. It's kind of our thing now. He hires me. I come up and film their opening day, and it was pretty funny because it was mostly teal. I mean, this duck season. This duck season sucked everywhere, but it was mostly teal. And we're the second day, Sunday morning, I'm sitting there and I'm running the camera, and they've missed a couple ducks, and you know we should have been out of there by then. And Jeff looks at me and is like, I'm going to need you to just put your camera down and help us shoot and kill some ducks because I want to get out of here. So I was like, okay, you know, I'll pick the camera up. So I always, you know, it just depends on the situation, but it's hard. It's hard for me to do both because I love both of them equally.
Yeah. You're a lot younger than me. What are you, 35?
31.
Okay. Sorry. Because I'll be 57 here in a couple months. Less than 2 months.
Young spring chicken.
Yeah, I hear you. But I've just gotten, the dogs have just, you know, it's what I do.
Right.
And it does not bother me not to shoot. Like when those guys were smashing all those ducks in the Delta,
right.
I was just happy to run the dog.
Yeah.
So it's a process.
Right.
It's a process.
Yeah.
When I was 31, I was mad at it.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I was mad at it. We'd hunt all day, both days of the weekend, whether they were flying or not.
Yeah.
We didn't care.
You were
going
there.
to take our stove. We were going to take our snacks.
Right.
We were going to do dumb stuff in the blind.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just, I just love watching the dogs work.
Yeah, there's no doubt. Yeah.
I mean, and you got some crazy pictures of Juice.
Yeah, that was a good day.
Yeah.
Light was right. Yep. It was nice.
Yep.
A little overcast.
Super sunny.
I like it overcast. That's
blowing
my
the shot out. You know, and you see a dog do something like when I got Juice pushed back, it had to be over 300 yards.
Oh, easy. Yeah, he was out there.
On his 4th duck hunt of his life.
Yeah.
And the fact that he did that means, A, we're reading the right genetics, B, training methodology. There's your answer.
Yeah.
And C, that dog has the want to.
He was going to get that duck. Unfortunately,
it
had a
flew
little
off.
bit too much life left in him. But he was on it. He was going to get him.
He chased it down and it flew off.
It would have been, I think, by the time, if that duck wouldn't have got up, it would have been a 400-yard retrieve by the time he got to it.
Probably, yeah.
Because he got on it and ran about 50 yards, and then that duck got up. But I think, it'd have been about a 400-yard retrieve.
Yeah, and to me, that's like, as Mike always tells me, the dog trainer high.
Yeah.
They did it. They did everything they were supposed to do. Did it take some extra back cast? Yeah, that was 300 and some yards.
Yeah.
But that's okay. He took the cast.
Right, yeah.
He
He didn't quit.
Whistle.
He didn't give up. He come back. They
Yeah.
didn't come back until you told him to.
100%. And then he's like, bro.
Where's
I
the
was
duck?
I can't help it. The duck flew off, man.
You sent me after all that for nothing.
So, all right, before we go a little farther, tell us about your wife and kids.
So I've been married, this November is 10 years. It's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
And we got married young. My wife, Whitney, we dated in high school, split up, and then kind of met later in life. And so, we got married
Later in life at 21.
We got married. And then we have, 3 little boys, Weston, Waylon, and Hudson. So, 8, 6, and 4 this year.
And they don't keep you busy at all, right?
No.
I see some of the pictures that they're all boy.
Yeah, 24/7. They're never not all boy.
You have a lot of emergency room trips in your future.
Yeah, unfortunately. I'm honestly, knock on some wood, I'm honestly surprised that we have not been to one yet. We've had a couple close calls.
That's pretty amazing.
The middle one knocked a front tooth out.
Well, luckily, it's a baby tooth.
Yeah, it still hasn't grown back, but he knocked it out. He knocked it loose one week playing. We have concrete floors in the house, and he was playing with the toy and was pushing it and slipped and fell and knocked it loose. We took him to the dentist. Dentist said, it's going to be all right. It's going to heal. We don't have to take it out. 3 days later, he did it again and knocked it almost completely out. It was just hanging there. We had to take him back to the dentist, and they were like, yeah, you got to take it out now this time. So
dang.
It's just all boy, like you said. And so, so 10 years this year, and it is a circus all the time in our house. And I don't think it probably will always be.
I think it probably will be too.
But I would never trade it. I can't imagine. We talk all the time. We at the time, we wish, maybe we had a girl, but now we can't imagine not just having boys because, you just get used to it. It's like having a girl would be so foreign. We would be lost. We wouldn't know what to do.
Yeah. The stuff I talked to Tina about, what I did when I was a kid and stuff, she had 3 girls.
Yeah.
So it's like totally different,
Yeah.
And so she's like, you did what? I was like, oh yeah, we did that kind of stuff all the time. So, but yeah, your little boys they're cute as they can be. I love seeing all the pictures on social media you put up, and I just look at that and go, that's 24/7.
Oh, it's busy. It's all the time, and you would think it's so funny because my oldest, it doesn't matter. The kid can go to bed at 8 p.m. or he can go to bed at 11 p.m. We let him stay up and watch a movie on Friday night. 6:30 in the morning, he's awake.
Yeah.
Every single morning.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, well, and then once he's awake, the other 2 are awake. Mm-hmm. So, it's literally pretty much 24/7. They hit the ground running.
And your wife has to deal with you traveling.
Yeah, she does. And she's a saint for that.
Yeah.
I tell you, I tell people all the time that I am extremely lucky. There's not a lot of women that would allow their husband to go to places like North Dakota with you guys and be gone for a week with 3 kids under the age of 7 at home by herself.
Yeah.
So yeah. I definitely got lucky with that one because there's not a lot of people that put up with that.
Well, that's awesome.
It's a lot.
So let's switch back gears to photography. So you had been doing it. We had already started to work together a little bit through Josh,
right,
who's going to be on the podcast very soon. And then you won Sitka Diverge.
I did, yeah, which was awesome. I'd watched, I guess since I started getting into photography, I think Diverge was on year 5 maybe when I first started getting into it. And then, and I had a couple pieces of Sitka clothing and follow them on Instagram, that kind of stuff. So you see all the stuff. And I remember seeing the first winner I remember is Wade Shoemaker won. And I remember seeing his waterfowl photo. And I was like, that's a cool shot. That'd be cool. That'd be something to do one day. And so I started getting into photography. I did some stuff. Me and you did some stuff, did some client work. And actually I was filming for an episode of Drop Zone on the Outdoor Channel in South Texas.
Was Pater on that trip?
Yeah.
And
so we were,
shout out to Pater Van Harten.
We were filming for that. And so we'd killed a couple pretty good white-tailed deer, a couple good white-tailed bucks, and I'd had this idea all week. I don't know why, but I was the guy that was kind of guiding us around had an F-250, and the inside of his truck lit up in the bed of the truck, and I had this idea the whole time. I was like, well, it'd be kind of cool to get a top-down drone shot of the deer laying in the back of the truck with the lights on at night. And so the first one I took was actually right by camp, and I'll try to pop the picture up in the podcast here. And so I had them in the back of the truck, a little bit tighter shot. You kind of see the camp and the lights from the camp. You see the deer in the truck. And I had the drone in the air, and we had to go up, and the way it works down there in South Texas, you got to go up and check the deer in with the wrench and all that. And so we were going to drive up there, and I was like, well, hey, why don't you just leave your lights on in the back of your truck? Once we get away from camp and it's pitch black dark. I mean,
you don't want the ambient light.
It's a 70,000 acre ranch. And once you get away from that little section of camp, it's dark.
Oh, see, I don't get out of bed for less than 100,000 acres.
Yeah, I'm sure. So I was like, just leave your lights on in the back of your truck, turn them on to where they'll stay on when you drive. So we start going down the road. I just take the drone and I'm following it, and I snap a couple pictures. And so that year it was on Diverge 8 was the year I won. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, that was either the first or second year that they actually split the categories up. It used to all just be one big photo competition. Mm-hmm. And so I want to say it may have been the first, but it possibly was the second year. And so they had, at the time, they only had 3 divisions. They had whitetail, waterfowl, and big game. And so you could submit a photo in any of those 3 categories. And so I submitted it, and I remember I was at work and received a tag on Instagram from Sitka, and I was like, I made the top 5 in the whitetail category. So I was like, oh man, this is awesome. Yeah, it came with like $500 in store credit, and I was like, great. Yeah. I'm like, awesome. If I don't make it any further than here, this is cool.
Still not a bad hit.
Yeah, right. And I was like, so this is really neat. And so I was stoked, and I'll never forget. We were flying to the North Platte.
That's
when
right.
I found out.
That's
yeah,
right.
We were going
you
up
found
there.
Out
yeah,
when
with
you
the
were
Buckners.
Out. Yeah.
With Jeff Travis and them.
Jeff Travis.
And me and Craig. I'd met up with Craig. I flew out of Memphis and flew into somewhere. I can't remember where.
It was up north.
Yeah,
somewhere.
It might have been Minneapolis or something to take a flight over to Cheyenne. Mm-hmm. And I'm sitting at the airport, and it's just crazy the way things work out. Our flight got delayed like an hour and a half. And I knew that Sitka was releasing the winners that day. So I've been checking Instagram all day. And I'm sitting there, and finally we get on the plane, and we're sitting on the plane, and we're like taxiing to take off. And I hadn't turned my cell phone service off yet, because I'm sitting there like
You're
refreshing
one of those
it.
people.
Right. Well, I'm sitting there refreshing it. And they put a post up, and they're like, instead of just announcing it that year, they recorded a video. And so they recorded a video of all their judges, which is kind of people that work for them, a lot of their photographers, because they've got a core group of guys that are really phenomenal photographers.
For sure.
And so they're all sitting around this table, and they have printouts of everybody's photos, and they're doing their voting, and they're just kind of 3, 2, 1 and throwing the winner in the middle of the thing. And so they're talking about it. And so I watched the waterfowl, and it got to the whitetail part, and I'll never forget. They just one of the fellas on the pod starts talking about, or on the video starts talking about, just how he liked, in my shot, how he just liked the contrast of nothing else around it other than the truck and the deer. Mm-hmm. And it was just so surreal watching them in the video. I'm sitting there watching the video on the plane, and I think I audibly yelled, and everybody in the plane was probably, in the world is wrong with this kid?
What is he yelling about?
So, I mean, they threw it in there, and I was so stoked. And that was nice. It was like, I think I won. The prize package was awesome. It was $1,500 more in store credit. I won a brand new Matthews bow, a Yeti loadout box, boots, rangefinder, and it was also I think the waders had been out like a year at that point. So I mean, I got a pair of waders, and that was half the credit right there. And then I got me some whitetail stuff because I'm like, I gotta get some whitetail stuff, and so it was pretty cool to come from when I first started getting into doing the outdoor photography stuff and watching that competition for a couple of years to see it kind of come full circle and win it.
Yeah.
Now I'm trying to win it, and I want to be the first person to ever win it in two categories. And I haven't made the top 5 the past 2 years, but I have had multiple photos picked for them to highlight on Instagram on their story and stuff during the weeks of the competition. So I'm still like in there. Yeah. I just haven't quite crested it back again. Yep. So it's and I mean, really, well, they've added a couple more categories now, but really for me, big game would be hard to win because we don't do any big game hunting. Yeah. So it's pretty much going to be waterfowl and I think this year they added turkey, which is nice. Okay. So maybe I can, I can get some turkey stuff. My biggest problem is finding people that wear Sitka gear that hunt around here. Mm-hmm. And then Realtree is on up there too. Yeah. And it's so hard to kind of, find somebody that wears Sitka to turkey hunt. And they just don't around here.
We're big Realtree guys.
Yeah.
Tyler and Mr. Bill. Tyler's a good friend of mine. I've become friends with Mr. Bill over the last couple of years. So we're big Realtree camo guys, and they're just awesome. Yeah. So, but I mean, Sitka stuff is fantastic too. I mean, there's so much good stuff out there that if you pick a good brand, it's going to be good.
Yeah, for sure.
So if I'm not mistaken, after you won while we were out in Nebraska, I think you celebrated pretty hard one night.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, I think so.
I went to bed.
Yeah, you did. You did go to bed that night. You did go to bed that night.
Y'all, the next morning for the hunt.
Me and Craig and Travis had a rough go the next morning.
Yeah, y'all were a little slow moving the next morning.
I still don't think I've drank a Coors Light since then. I don't know what happened. We went up to the house, and it was the weirdest thing. It was like, we'd had a few drinks at dinner, and we went up to the house, and none of us brought it. And the house,
because it was already in the.
We opened the fridge, and there was a case of like a 30-pack of Coors Light, and we were like, well, it's here, and then it wasn't there. And
I said, I'm out.
Yeah, you did go to bed. You did the good thing. You did go to bed.
One of the few times I've done that.
Yeah, the next morning was rough.
Yeah,
but it was a good time.
But that North Platte trip. We never seem to kill like big limits,
right?
But the scenery and the birds, the hospitality, the food.
Yeah.
Oh gosh, Sean.
I didn't eat for 2 days after we came home. I didn't want to eat nothing
crazy, else. And Jeff Buckner and Travis and Queenie always took us out there. It was just such a phenomenal trip. But that place is magical.
Yeah, it's awesome.
It is. I was going to go this year until I busted my shoulder up with Travis.
Yeah,
and hunt with Ross out there. But it's just an amazing place. I can't say enough about it. Okay, so you win Sitka Diverge. How did that change your professional trajectory?
It kind of got, and I mean, honestly, starting to work with you and working here, it's so funny. It snowballed so fast. It was just like, I think the first thing we did here was maybe we did a little video right after you got the reins here. We did a little video with all the stud dogs.
Yeah, in 2019.
And so it was that, and then it was, Canada, North Platte, winning Sitka that January when we were going to North Platte, rolling that into filming some stuff for the Outdoor Channel, and then I got roped in and started doing some content for Buck Gardner Calls out of Memphis.
Mm-hmm.
And so we did content for them. I did content for them for 2 years, just waterfowl content. The first year went phenomenal, went really good. The second year is just, you can't plan duck hunts, man. You just can't. And, you know, it was a little slow go. And I mean, it really kind of got my name out there a little more, got attention for some other companies and that kind of stuff. I'm on Banded's photography team. They send me a little bit of gear every year.
Yeah.
And like Onyx Hunt, I take photos for them.
I remember when you got that gig.
And so it kind of just steamrolled into at least some people noticing my name out there, which is nice. You know, just at least 100%. Be semi-recognized in the 100%. Industry.
You know, it's kind of like we're a legacy company. You've been around since 72 and had a good reputation doing stuff with DU. The film tips, we've been doing that with them since 2001, I believe. We're getting ready to film in 3 weeks from now. Cover of Forbes.
Yeah.
That'll change your life.
Yeah.
Kathy tells me stories. She said I would be on the phone and miss 4 other calls consistently. Yeah. And she said it was the craziest thing, you know, and then we hit 2012. Cover Garden and Gun,
right?
You know, it's those little moments in time that just really help your brand, that to get you out there, to get people thinking about you.
And I've gotten through you guys here at Wildrose and through some other stuff too. Part of what that has helped also is the published photography side of things, the magazine work, and so I went from, it was kind of hard to get my name in the door with these magazines to I'm like, you know, when I introduce myself, I can say, hey, I won, you know, Sitka's Diverge photo competition. There's the year I won, there was 33,000 photo submissions.
Yeah.
And I won one of the top, you know, one of the 3 categories.
Yeah.
Top 3 photos out of 33,000 is not bad.
Not too shabby.
You know, and so it's definitely like an icebreaker when I talk to people, that because I can say, hey, I do, you know, I know what I'm doing. Let me show you some of my photos. And so, you know, through you guys and through some other, you know, revenues, I've been, you know, published in Covey Rise.
We got you hooked up with them.
Garden and Gun ran something, I think. May have been digital for them. I think it was digital.
It was digital.
But still, I mean, it's there, you know, it's in the door.
Yeah, 100%.
Garden and Gun, Ducks Unlimited, let's see, Mississippi Outdoors. I've done some stuff with them. Local Mississippi magazine. I'm working with American Field magazine. They've brought it back right now. I'm working on trying to get some stuff in there with them. I did not realize that magazine had been around since, but they shut it down in, I think, right at COVID time, like 2021. And it had been around since like 1880.
Holy moly.
Yeah. And so I know the fella that's doing their marketing, and they've brought it back. And so I'm trying to get into some stuff with them now. Porch and Prairie magazine. Delta magazine here in Mississippi, down there in Delta, and Field Ethos. Had some stuff with those guys.
Field Ethos.
Yeah.
That's a whole nother story.
No doubt.
There's a bunch of wild men over there. They are fun to hang out with. Jason Vincent's actually getting a pup here in the next couple of months.
Oh, nice.
He's getting a Mattis pup. Once he met Mattis,
you
know, it was all over with, and he's going to be the mascot for Field Ethos.
Oh, nice. That's awesome.
So pretty pumped about that.
Okay, I'll be here on puppy picking day.
Yes, we will have to do a podcast with him. Yeah. Not like the one we did with them several years ago. That's a whole nother story. But they're great dudes. Have a lot of fun with those guys. So when did you start taking pictures for us?
We did the video, I guess. When did you take? You took the reins at 19. So we did the video then, and we did that, and then I think, when did we do the springtime video? The next year?
The spring rebirth.
Yeah, the spring of just showing off the grounds and that kind of stuff. And I don't think I did too much. I think we met out. We
did some stuff at Josh's.
Yeah, did some stuff at Josh's. I went with you. I think the next year was really kind of where it really started, because you and Josh got into Bar W.
Yeah.
We started doing that. What year was that? 2020?
It was 19 or 20.
19 or 20?
Yeah, it was 19 or 20.
So Bar W was, I think, really kind of because I went up there with you and Josh a couple times, took photos of Dixie, and
I'm a Dixie girl.
I know it's crazy to me. Which I enjoy being that person that got those last hunt photographs. I got Dixie, I got Deke, and I got Josh's dog Cat. I got some great photos on one of her last hunts before he kind of retired her from the field. And but I guess it was whenever we got into Barb W, and then we come back here and started doing some stuff here on and off too.
That one of Dixie's last hunts, you got her on point with, I believe it was Homer.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, Homer, who we lost Homer since then. Yeah. Josh's dog, he was my fave.
Yeah, he was cool.
I'd always borrow him and take him hunting, but that's just such a cool shot that, because I didn't teach Dixie to point.
Right. Yeah.
Just natural.
She just watched somebody else do it. She's like, maybe I'm supposed to be doing this
Hamish
too.
would do it too, her daddy. And Mattis now.
Yeah, I've seen Mattis do it, I think, before.
Yeah, but now I got to tap him on the butt and tell him to get him up, because he'll just hold the point. It's like, you're a Labrador. Work with me here, Mattis.
So that kind of, I think that's kind of started, and then obviously it's kind of bloomed for more than that.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, we've gone on some hunts here and there, and I'm glad you got to come to that hunt in the Delta that day.
Oh yeah, it was awesome,
because that was just such a banger with a couple of the football players at Ole Miss. Which standing next to them makes me realize why I never was recruited for offensive line in D1 ball.
And me and you both. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I got some cool shots that still haven't made the light of day yet, and some more reels that we'll get posted out
and
there.
Crazy Brock.
Yeah, crazy.
So what's next?
I don't know. Obviously the photography, that kind of stuff. I've kind of somehow fell into my lap, delved into editing podcasts for people, putting podcasts together.
Like this one?
Yeah, like this one. So if you're starting a podcast, you need any help kind of navigating that and how that goes, or you just need an editor because you don't know how to do that, I'm doing that. And then the photography side of things, I'd like to continue to get published. That's kind of the photography goal. Other than I want to try to win. I still want to be the first person to ever win Diverge twice.
Yeah.
In 2 different categories.
Yeah.
And then want to get published more. Just in print more. And then the video side of things, and I've spoken with you hopefully about doing something here, is I want to get more into the kind of the I love doing the hype videos on hunts and that kind of stuff. It's fun. The Instagram flashy stuff. It's awesome. It's fun. But I want to do more long form storytelling content. So about kind of like what Yeti Films does. I don't know if you ever watched any of their Yeti Film series. And, Yeti Films presents whatever, a person or a dog or a place.
Flip Palette or somebody like that.
And so I want to do more of that form content and start doing long form storytelling, editorial type about people or places or whatever. So that's kind of the goal is I want to kind of break into doing a little bit of that. And I think there's, even here locally, there's some good stories here.
There's a lot of good stories around Oxford. Because one of the things I want to do this football season, when Mr. Bill Jordan comes in town, I want to sit down with him and Tyler and do one of these.
Yeah.
I mean, how cool would that be?
That'd be awesome.
Because he's got some stories from the startup of Realtree and all the hunts he's been on, and playing football with Archie Manning.
Right.
I mean, it's just craziness. So we want to get a shout out to our partners at Yeti. For all your branded Yeti products, go to wildrosetradingcompany.com. We've got all your hunting gear, all your training gear, all your cool branded apparel, because if you're going to own a high-powered dog, you have to look good. So I want to thank Dwayne for being here.
Appreciate you having me.
Thanks, everybody, for watching, and we'll see you next time on the Wildrose Way podcast.